Alright guys, I'm going to do another quick one here because a lot of folks are showing interest in this 20 gauge and I'm just trying to work up some loads. I come up with another one today that I feel is going to be a little bit better. My son brought me a little Mossberg that is for his fiance Haley. She wants to deer hunt with us this year. I've been making to test out, and it shot good in her gun, an 18 pellet number 1. Problem with it is, them 18 pellets, it is buckling the hull just a little bit. It hasn't been a problem so far, but I come up with one, and what I was doing, I was using the RP20 Remington wad, 7/8 ounce shot cut wad. Well, today I decided to cut the pellets down from not 18, I mean 16 pellets in this load of number 1. I decided to cut it down to 14 and use the these Remington SP20s instead of the RP20. It's some old stock, guys, but it's a bigger shot cut. It's a little taller. And this is an 1/8 wad. And with 14 pellets, I'm running a 29 caliber that I'm calling number 1, guys. I'm running 14 pellets in there. I'm just dropping the SP20 down in there. And these wads have little ridges on the side, so the pellets have to go in there right or they won't stack right. There you go. 4, 5, 6. Then 1, 2, 3, 4. And it still wants to act funny. That's the problem with this wad so far. 2, 3, 4. There we go. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. 14 pellets, folks. We're up there below where the pole line's going to be. Oh yeah, while I'm at it, I'll show you another little thing my son brought me. He got from an estate sale. This is the Lee Loadout y'all familiar with seeing, except now it has a 20 gauge head on it. I can load 20 gauge shells on here now. All you got to do is switch them back and forth, folks. It's not a big hard deal. Oh, I forgot to put the overshot card in that one. They come out fine, but I don't like them that way. I have my own way of loading it. That's just how I load. Alright, we're going to try this again. 22 grains of blue dot powder. Another Remington SP20 wad. Drop straight down in there, folks. 14 pellets of 29 cal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. 14 pellets comes right up there at the 1/4 inch top of the wad, folks. Throw a little buffer on it. With these 20 gauge shells, it don't take much buffer at all, folks. 20 gauge overshot card. Pre-crimped. Final crimped. Comes out looking like brand new shell. That little load all too. That's pretty good stuff, guys. I don't care who you are. I've always heard guys talk about, oh, they're junk. I ain't never found them to be junk. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 pellets once again, guys. Now these are test rounds, guys. I'm not sure what they're going to do. payload is correct for the powder charge. So we just have to wait and see what they're going to do. Once again, it comes out like a brand new factory loaded round. Looks perfect. Yeah, I've always heard, guys. I've been using one of these since I was a kid, folks. There ain't nothing wrong with that machine. I learned how to load on a lead load all too. Back in the day, when Daddy had his loading buckshop, we would use we'd use any holes we could find, or what he would bring us, whatever lead someone brought us, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We'd use anything we could use. I've come a long way since back in my childhood. But back then, Eddie and them were just looking at economics. We didn't care what the lead was made of. It was lead. We didn't know anything about BHN and all that stuff back when I was a youngin'. If it would kill a deer, it was good enough to go hunting with. That's the way my family always looked at it. I mean, it's just loading these things up perfect, guys. But this 14 pellet load with 22 grains of blue dot, this thing gonna be traveling just as fast as a 12 gauge round is, guys. About 1,200 plus feet a second. One more. Then I'm gonna take them down the street and I'm gonna see how these things perform with the SP20 wad in it. Yeah, and if you haven't noticed, these are brand new hulls I'm loading on that lead load off. It doesn't matter. It does not have to be once fired hulls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, folks, it doesn't have to be once firing hulls to put on a lead load off. It does good with any of them. One thing, if y'all guys are first getting into this and you're buying hulls brand new, make sure they're skived hulls. Unskived hulls are more for roll crimping. They will not fold crimp good. There's 5. 14 pellet #1 round, guys. Loaded on a lead load all 2. Do you see anything wrong with them 20 gauge rounds? These jokers ought to be cruising pretty good. We'll take the chrono and shoot them just so you can see. I often get asked why I don't use the mechs. I do use them. I use them all the time. But when I'm making videos for y'all, I'm trying to make it where if you're getting new into this, this is the cheapest route to go. You can buy different power heads for different gauges, guys. This one's for the 12 gauge. This is just a plate on the front. See the 2 screws right there? Same place the plate goes on there. There's 2 screws inside this tank. It lifts off. These arms pop off. This slides right up off the shaft, and you can slide this one right back down on it. Put them 2 screws in, put these both back on them pivoting points, and you can switch back and forth to 12 gauge, 20 gauge, or what other gauge you want to get. And did it make it any of them load any different? Well, you've seen my 12 gauge, and this is 20 gauge. It does perfect, guys. Alright, stay tuned. We'll take this 14 pellet load down the street and see what we got here in just a few minutes. Later.